feel like this used to sometimes. Lost in a distant land. Only unlike him. I don't have a home to want to return to. I have nothing to strive for, apart from saving my skin, keeping my friends alive, and maybe living a little bit better than a wild beast. Can someone really be lost if they don't belong anywhere? I once killed a man and took his boots. They were nice boots. What? You killed someone just for a pair of boots? Of course not. There were other reasons. I also took his clothes. On this forgotten shore, only still remembers. Your treachery truly knows no bounds, dreamer sunless. You have been bestowed a true name, lost from light. Nameless slave ascended the Black Mountain. Both heroes and monsters fell by his hand. Unbroken, he entered the ruined temple of a long-forgotten god, and spilled his blood on the sacred altar. The gods were dead, and yet they listened. Glorious, your treachery truly knows no bounds. Dreamer sunless, you have been bestowed a true name, lost from life. Once an elegant dance, now a deadly battle art. This mysterious style was created by the treacherous lost from light after witnessing a graceful slave dancing with her shadows. Who else could have taken something so beautiful and turned it into something so wild? Oh, of course, Lord Sunless. What is your true name, then? Sunny stared at him, the smile frozen on his face. Harper was still grinning, waiting for the answer. Why did he have to ask that question? But it was too late. What happened couldn't be changed. Harper finally sensed that something was wrong. His eyes widened. Sun picked up the crude iron knife and stabbed it through the poor young man's heart, pushing the knife into Harper's weak body. Harper's wide eyes were full of pain and terror, staring at Sunny with a silent but deafening question. Why? Sunny whispered, I am lost from light. Don't look at me. Please don't look at me. Finally, Harper's terrified, accusing eyes grew still and lightless. Sunny could feel the beating of his heart stop through the thin fabric of the young man's robe, making sure that Harper was indeed dead. He finally let go of the knife and crawled away. Oh God.
You have slain Dreamer Harper. Your shadow grows stronger.
Contorted in a painful spasm, Sunny bent over and violently threw up. Then he weakly fell on the floor and tried to wipe his face, only to realize that he was spreading blood all over it. I killed him. I just killed a real human. A strange stillness took hold of Sunny. Sitting on the cold stones, he stared at the corpse of the young man that he had just killed and struggled to form a cohesive thought. After a while, he finally succeeded. Too much. Oh, this is too much. All of this was too much for him. Why did he have to go through all of this? The slave caravan, the forgotten shore, changing star, and now Harper. What sin had he committed to have to go through this nightmare? Was he actually already dead and imprisoned in the depths of hell? Bullshit. He deserved it. Sonny gritted his teeth and forced himself to concentrate on that thought. Why do you even feel guilty? The bastard was going to sell you out to Gunlock. He knew that he was helping to kill you. And not just you alone. Neff, too. And Cassie. But no matter how hard he tried to convince himself that he had the right to kill Harper, deep down he could not accept it. There were a million ways to deal with the timid, pitiful spy. No, there was another reason. Come on now. There's no one else here. Why don't you be honest with yourself for once? Just admit it. Don't you dare become a hypocrite. Sonny grimaced and ground his teeth against each other. Say it. Reluctantly, he opened his mouth and whispered, I killed him because I wanted to survive. I killed him.
To tell you the truth, Harris, I have killed many monsters. Some of them were nightmare creatures and some were men. I killed a person or two as well. But I have never done it out of malice. I've never enjoyed it too much. He paused and then spat, his voice shaking. But I will enjoy killing you. You embody everything that I despise. You sicken me. For that reason alone, I am going to end you. You don't deserve to live at all. That was just one of my many adventures anyway. Although the other ones were admittedly less remarkable. You know, the usual stuff. Slaying dozens of awakened creatures. Being resurrected from the doors of death by a beautiful princess. Summoning ancient horrors from the depths of the cursed sea. Outsmarting ancient fiends to escape from their clutches. Sailing through the abyss on a boat made of demon bones. Fighting gargantuan leviathans underwater and so forth. Mundane crap like that.
You know, when I just came here, I was ready to die. After all, in this whole world, 2 worlds actually, there's not a single soul who cares whether I live or die. When I'm gone, no one will be sad. No one will even remember that I existed. But then, I changed my mind. I decided to survive. I must survive no matter what, to spite you all.
Slowly, Sonny stepped away from the edge of the chasm, his gaze locked onto Nephis. Darkness lingered in his eyes, cold, unyielding. It's not like we didn't know this would happen," he said, his voice devoid of warmth. "We've known for a long time, haven't we?" Nephis held his stare for a moment before offering a bitter smile. "We did. Indeed, they had always known. From the moment Sunny first grasped the meaning of Cassie's vision, he had understood the inevitable truth. One day, to survive, he would have to kill Nephis. How does one come to terms with the knowledge that one day they will have to kill the person they care for the most? This truth had festered in the depths of his mind, burden he chose to bear alone. It was the reason he had spent months wandering the dark city, hunting monsters, and slowly becoming one himself. The weight of his fate was unbearable, yet there was no escaping it. The end had always been written.
Which means that only one of us can escape.
I don't suppose you'll stay behind and let me go?
I was about to ask you the same.
Not a chance. Nephis opened her eyes and looked at him, a sense of sorrow appearing on her face.
Please, Sunny. Please. Go.
He shook his head stubbornly.
I don't want to.
Changing Star was silent for a moment, looking at him with a pained expression. And then she said, making his world crumble,
Go. Wash away.
After everything he had done for her, Cassie's betrayal, perhaps, had hurt him the most. Curse her. Once again, he was a slave. He made a full circle and returned exactly to where he had started. In shackles. Only instead of nameless slavers.
You're packing some pretty heavy artillery for your size, boy. Likewise, Chum. Heard you went no-ganic full bore, so I gotta ask, any brain left in that chrome dome of yours? You could say I'm special. Well, so the fuck am I!
This beautiful steed was tamed by the treacherous lost from light in the depths of a harrowing dream. The two shadows battled across countless nightmares, shattering them all apart. Neither was willing to give up. So in the end, the nightmares did.
Noctis stood with a wistful smile, his shimmering form catching the last traces of light. The vast expanse of the dream realm stretched behind him, beautiful, surreal, and cruel. He looked at Sunny, that familiar crooked grin softening as silence lingered between them. Then, in a voice tinged with warmth and finality, he spoke. Well then, I guess this is goodbye, Sunless. His gaze lingered for a moment, fond, a little sad. You've been a great friend to me, and I hope I've been a good friend to you. The words hung heavy in the air. There was no theatrics, No grand farewell, just truth. A rare, sincere truth in a world built on illusions. And as the dream realm began to pull them apart, Sunny remained still, watching the last echo of a mad sorcerer and unlikely friend fade into the ether. In the center of the great hall, surrounded by a swirling hurricane of light and darkness, a vague and graceful silhouette towered above the broken chains. You couldn't quite tell where the light ended and where her numinous body began. Perhaps Hope had no body at all, and was instead made of pure radiance, pure darkness. He felt as if her nebulous visage was almost human-like, but also inexplicably alien. The shapes and contours were both correct and wrong, both familiar and strange, both pleasing and revolting, and beautiful, so beautiful. She was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. She was the most terrifying thing he had ever seen. She was divine, unholy, unknown, unknowable, a demon, and she was leaving. Sunny gritted his teeth and then screamed, letting his desire dictate the question. Wait, don't go, tell me. Tell me why the Lord of Light did this. Why did the gods imprison you? Why couldn't they just kill you? Why? The demon of desire paid him no attention. For a moment, Sunny thought that he would not receive an answer. But then something changed. Hope moved and was suddenly beside him. A face which was weaved of light and darkness encompassed the whole world. The radiant eyes peered into the deepest, most hidden parts of his soul. And then a voice that sounded like the rustle of countless leaves, like a myriad of prayers, like the wind that blew between the stars whispered into his ear. Because we are their flaw. Sunny's eyes grew wide, and then everything became dark. The nightmare was over. A lonesome shadow came to a land of shattered dreams. It was captured and thrown into a cage, but escaped by weaving sorceries from its own soul. The shadow beheaded itself to take the slave collar off its neck, and lost its heart to win its freedom. Leaving the Colosseum behind, the shadow traveled far and got insane. It lived 100 lives and died 100 deaths within a dreadful nightmare, forgetting what it was and where it came from. The shadow did not break, and so the nightmare broke instead. Free once again, the shadow befriended a mad sorcerer, a feral child, a crippled archer, and a blind prophet. Together, they collected the deaths of the immortal lords who waged a war against the holy city. The lords were killed, the city was destroyed. The shadow broke the chains of hope and set desire free.